Range Rover is proud to partner Monocle on Design on Monocle Radio. Every Range Rover is created to elevate leaders' lives with cutting-edge design, connected, refined interiors and electrified performance. These qualities drive every Range Rover to deliver unrivaled luxury. This vision is inspired by the same values that created this icon 55 years ago. To hear how Range Rover is elevating leaders' lives, tune in to a special season of On Design Extra, in which the Monocle team meet the innovators, trailblazers and design leaders who are inspiring the Range Rover journey. Listen out for those special programmes soon on monocle.com or wherever you get your podcasts. Monocle on Design and Range Rover, elevating leaders' lives.
This is Monocle on Design Extra. It's a short show to accompany our weekly programme where we discuss everything from architecture and craft to furniture and graphic design. I'm Maylie Evans. By the Wolfgangsee Lake in the Salzkammer Gut region of Austria, a bold relationship between the natural world and that of design has been thriving for more than a century. Since its construction in 1872, the Schafberg cog railway has delighted emperors and tourists alike. And now, a new station at the foot of the track has drawn accolades from the highest levels of the architectural community. Journalist Emma Nelson went up the mountain to find out more.
The Salzkammergut region of Austria is deliriously pretty. You can count the ways. 70 lakes, at least 2 UNESCO World Heritage Sites, alpine pastures and lots of mountains. Nature excels here in its beauty. Its charms have attracted the great, as Mario Michelin, who runs the Salzburg tourism company, now explains.
So Emperor Franz Josef lived about 84 years, and 80 years of his life, it's 4 months he lived and do everything here in Salzkammergut. He invited other emperors and other peoples to come to visit him, and he showed them the most beautiful things in Salzkammergut. And one of the most beautiful things is the Schafberg mountain. Before they built the cog railway, there were the Sesselträger, yes, 4 peoples carrying on a chair the honorary people up to the mountain. It was like a taxi, yes.
This was clearly neither a comfortable or practical way of doing things. Mario, a former train driver turned CEO with an excellent ponytail, explains how they decided that after all they needed an easier way, and so the idea of a railway was hatched.
So in June 1892, they start to build this track up, and 4 months later, it's crazy, 14 months later, on the 1st of August, the first train goes up with the first passengers.
When you look at the Schafberg,
famous, it was really famous, and it was marvelous that they built this track up. Because there were 300 of Italian workers, 100 Maulesel, and some black powder for the track. And everything what they built in the track, they took from the mountain.
And so you climb on board for a 6-kilometre journey beyond the tree line. No cars. No donkeys. This is not an express service. Drawing out of the station at little more than walking pace, the incline pulls you into the back of your wooden bench. First within touching distance of people's back lawns, then woodland forest, and finally the blasted peak of the Schafberg, Whatever grows up there does so at a windswept angle. Your ears pop. Slowly. The temperature slides. You hope the brakes are good. You ask yourself if you really want to look down. In peak season, the service can send more than 2,500 passengers per day up and down the Schafberg, from busloads of locals to coaches of South Koreans. This is one of the treasures of Austrian tourism. Once you reach the top, if you like fresh air and bracing views and stillness like nowhere else on earth, you're in the right place. You can see 11 of Austria's lakes from up here. But there's something even more remarkable. At the very edge of a plunging, pointed precipice, there's a hotel. Austria's first mountain hotel.
You don't believe it. The hotel was built 30 years before the track was built. So the hotel was built in 1862 and the train track was built in 1893. So this is fantastic. They everything carry up with manpower and with some donkeys.
This is absolutely buzzing with tour guides and locals who seem to have come up on a Thursday morning for a large glass of beer.
sind zwei. Zu zweit? Ja. Jawohl, schauen wir. Schönes Platz am Fenster. Gut, ihr habt
Inside, the cosiest, warmest retreat. Thick stone walls, thick wooden benches, thick horned hunting trophies eyeballing you from the wall as you demolish thick slices of strudel, sausage and unctuous bowls of goulash. Up here, everybody is smiling, and elevensies never felt so good. It's mid-morning. What have you ordered?
A glass of wine. And a bratwurst.
Well, we're staying at a hotel that's on the water, and you look up at the top of the mountain, and there's this restaurant and hotel and the train going up there, and so we just couldn't resist. So here we are.
A trip back down the mountain and to the Schafbergbahn's second design miracle, the railway station. A tiny hut in front of which you queued in the rain has now vanished, and in its place, a vast, light and bright visitor centre.
My name is Michael Höcketstaller, and I'm co-founder of Dunkelschwarz Architects. And I was the leading architect at this project during the building and the planning phase.
In 2019, a young firm of Salzburg architects, Dunkelschwarz, won the commission to revamp the station at the lakeside base. Their challenge was to create a large modern space which would also fit harmoniously into the mountainside.
We take a look at the special buildings, the existing buildings over there, which are located at a very beautiful landscape site between the Lake Wolfgang and the mountain Schafberg. But the buildings which existed were old and it didn't even work in its function.
No comparable model for a multi-use building existed in the local traditional Austrian architecture. The landscape itself is also protected. So they used wood and steel to create a jagged shed roof, breaking up the building's scale. Panoramic views strongly link the lakeside to the mountainside via the train track, and the space is grand enough to hold a wedding, warm enough to find a cosy corner to consult the timetable for the pleasure boat home as well. Everywhere you look, there are elegant solutions, and then something remarkable happened. The railway station that was designed to blend in was noticed globally. Here's Mario.
So in autumn last year, I became an email from the Prix Versailles that we are nominated for the best station in the world. And I first read this, a second time read it, and then I thought, it's a joke. This little station here in St. Wolfgang, the word title of the best architect station. And then I go to Google what is the Pays Versailles? Yeah. And then I see, hey, is this famous?
The Schafberg barn had been nominated in the category of the world's most beautiful railway station. So Michael and Mario went to Paris to the ceremony at UNESCO.
The other nominated projects in the category of the stations were like Grand Central Station in New York and a station in Melbourne and Neapel. Then there was a small railway station in St. Wolfgang. Yeah, probably nobody knew where is St. Wolfgang actually in comparison to the other big cities in the whole wide world. The planner teams of the other projects, they came to this ceremony and went to the stage with like 10 people. And because we didn't expect to win it, so we just came, Mario and me, we just 2 people. And then we won the gold medal and went to the stage. And yeah, we were, of course, very surprised and very happy. The big thing for us, that our work was so visible across the borders of Austria due to the world, we felt a big honor for that.
Nature has bestowed the Wolfgangsee with enough gifts that it doesn't need to advertise. But it now has another treasure, officially the most beautiful railway station in the world. For Monocle, in the Salzkammergut, I'm Emma Nelson.
That's all for this week. If you're eager for more design stories, then listen to our main programme, Monocle on Design, airing on Tuesdays at 8 p.m. London time. Or if you prefer print, you can pick up a copy of Monocle magazine, available on all good newsstands now. Today's episode was produced by me, Maylee Evans, with editing help from Steph Chungu. Thank you very much for listening.